Asia is known for its high-speed railways, whether that's impressive bullet trains or high-tech maglevs. But why is nobody talking about Malaysia's fastest train? This is the ETS Platinum, connecting Kuala Lumpur with the country's biggest cities. I'll show you what it's like to travel in business class on this flagship express train, from the luxury station lounges to the onboard meal service, on what's officially the world's fastest meter gauge train. Today's video is sponsored by Ling, the easy path to hard languages. This is an essential tool for learning languages around the world, but more about them later on in the video. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here at KL Sentral Station in Kuala Lumpur and I'm going to be travelling on board Malaysia's ETS Platinum high-speed service up to Butterworth. I'm travelling in the first class for this journey, so let's go. KL Sentral is one of the Malaysian capital's two main stations, also being the newer of the two, opening in 2001. I had the choice of either station for this journey and chose the newer one, though this was a huge mistake, as we'll soon find out. But first, let's head inside for a look around. First impressions here are good. The station is spacious and seems well appointed for its role as this Asian capital's railway hub. KL Sentral sees KTM commuter trains serving the city region, as well as metro, monorail and even the airport shuttle train. Heading upstairs, we can find the station's food court. There were plenty of options here, and a great supply of seating too, though I wasn't hungry at the time. A few other options were scattered around the station too, including vending machines. But my favourite shop had to be the KTM Railway Merchandise store, selling train-themed clothing and other associated accessories. Let me know in the comments of any other merchandise shops located in stations. As our train's departure time draws closer, the station's concourse begins to get pretty busy. However, as I'm travelling in business class, I get access to the KTM Ruby Lounge. Access is granted to all business class travellers on Platinum and Express services, starting about an hour before departure, so don't arrive here too early. The Ruby Lounge is basic, but still a pleasant place to wait. Comfy seats cover every corner of the air-conditioned room, with a view looking down upon the rest of the station. My only complaint here would have to be this very loud TV, which was certainly trying its best to prevent any relaxation. The Ruby Lounge offers complimentary drinks in the form of chilled water, tea, coffee and Milo. I dispensed a Milo hot chocolate drink, then sat down to relax. A perfect opportunity to check out today's video sponsor, Ling, the easy path to hard languages. Now, it's no secret that I travel a lot when I'm filming content for my channel, whether that's visiting remote towns in Eastern Europe or exploring big cities in Southeast Asia. And learning the local language is something that really helps there. Ling offers courses in over 40 languages. And yes, that includes Malay. With around 200 lessons per language, it's a great way to improve your language level, from beginner right the way up to expert. And helpfully, you can learn topics in any order, allowing you to focus exactly on what you want to learn. For me, well, it always helps to know a few local railway-related terms.
Dia naik train pergi pantai.
Dia naik train pergi pantai. Best of all, for languages that use different alphabets, Ling will even teach you how to write the letters. With optional daily reminders, leaderboards and fun lessons, it's really enjoyable to learn new languages using this app. Click the link in the description now to start your 7-day free trial of Ling, the easy path to hard languages. My train today is the 1108 ETS Platinum service for Butterworth, up in the northwest of the Malaysian peninsula. This service has since been replaced by an ETS Express, which is considerably faster, stopping at fewer stations. And it's here where my journey through Kuala Lumpur's main station really took an unexpected turn for the worse. Heading down to the concourse level, I am met with a big queue to board the train. Or at least so I thought, as the boarding gates just led to an enclosed area. My ticket wasn't working, and eventually I was just told to walk around the gates.
The train not ready yet? Yeah, not yet. But you can sit over there.
This waiting area was pretty bleak. Malaysia has a hot and humid climate, so this crowded and stuffy area with nowhere near enough seating really isn't good enough. I also didn't really understand what was going on, as we were now in a dead-end area behind some fence. But soon enough I got my answer. All passengers were taken back out of this restricted area and back into the main station concourse, where we were then shown to the train by a woman with a stick. This of course made the entire ticket checking process absolutely pointless, as literally anyone could have just joined the crowd and got on the train directly. Anyway, let's forget about all that, as it's finally time to board our electric train service, or ETS, up to Butterworth. This service is operated with the KTM Class 93/2, which are responsible for all Platinum and Express services, while Gold and Silver operate with slightly different types of train. The 6-carriage trains were built by CRRC Zhuzhou in China from 2019 to 2020, in response to electrification of Malaysia's long-distance railway routes. Business class is located at the very rear, in coach A. So let's step on board the so-called Malaysian bullet train. This is in a 2+1 seating layout, with all seats rotated to face forwards. My seat is 1C, a window seat at the very rear of the carriage. Today's route will see us slowly making our way out of the capital, before speeding up the northern half of the West Coast Railway as far as Bukit Mertajam for the branch to Butterworth. Journey time is scheduled to be 4 hours and 15 minutes, covering 380 kilometres or about 236 miles. We end up leaving KL Sentral 5 minutes later than planned, due to the disorganised boarding and hassle to get on board. After leaving the busy station, we begin weaving through this capital city, not far from the rapid KL metro service passing above. Only a few minutes later, we arrive at Kuala Lumpur's Old station, simply named Kuala Lumpur, and the station which I recommend using if you ever travel by train from the city. I mean, just look at this beautiful classic building. KL is a major city, with a population of over 8 million, boasting an impressive skyline too. The city is even home to the world's second tallest building, the Merdeka 118, beaten only by the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It's also one of Southeast Asia's key financial hubs, along with nearby Singapore. But as our train speeds north and out of KL, let's take a look around the interior here in business class. The carriage, while basic in design, is a pleasant space to spend a few hours. Seating looks very smart, with a black stripe and red highlights design. And I'm pleased to say that these seats were well padded and pretty comfortable on the whole. Though I wasn't a fan of the leather head cushion, which was too bulky and hard. Each seat gets 2 fixed armrests, as you can see here. This actually restricts the seat's width, and made it harder to spread out and relax. On one side, you can find controls for the seat's recline. These seats are bolt upright by default, so the large amount of recline was a great feature. As for legroom, these trains are great. There's so much room here to sit back and relax. The seat in front also features a footrest, further improving the comfort. And just above this, you'll find a storage net for your smaller personal items. There's also a folding coat hook at the top of the seat, and does anyone know what this thing is for? But for the time being, let's take a look back outside. Malaysia's railway network uses a metre gauge, with its early railways being built during its time under British rule. These narrower tracks were chosen for their lower construction costs and ability to have tighter curves. Though this narrow gauge does affect stability, meaning trains generally have to be narrower and run at lower speeds than their traditional standard gauge counterparts. Despite this, our ETS Platinum train is capable of reaching up to 180 km an hour, and frequently runs at up to 145 km an hour in service. It might not be the fastest train in the world, but it is the fastest to run on meter gauge track. The ETS was also responsible for a massive decrease in journey time over the older diesel trains previously used on the same route. It's now lunchtime and I'm beginning to get a bit hungry. But not to worry, as the complimentary meal service in business class has now begun. This consists of a main course, some water, and box of snacks. The main course is either a chicken lasagna, or on individual request, cheese sandwiches can be provided. In the snack box, there's a carton of apple juice and a small pack of peanuts. Earphones were included too, but we'll get to why that is later on. Stick around as it's pretty cool. Our ETS train is speeding its way through the countryside now, spending most of the journey at top speed. Whilst nothing spectacular, the passing scenery of a tropical climate was lovely to see, and very different to what I'm used to back in the UK. After just under 2 hours, we pull into Kampar. This is a major town of around 100,000 residents, so it's an important stop for our train. Despite this, its station is rather basic, with 2 platforms and a simple canopy for each one. Right, let's have a look around the rest of the train. Of the 6 carriages on this train, only one of them is business class. The remainder are standard class, with a similar aesthetic design but in a 2+2 layout and less legroom. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I actually prefer the seating in standard class. They are well padded and don't have fixed armrests, allowing for more room. In the middle of the train, you'll find the ETS Cafe, a buffet selling various snacks, meals and drinks. A large selection of local favourites is available, and at pretty good prices too. Next to this, a few small tables where you can enjoy your purchase. Moving on, there's a wheelchair accessible toilet near to the train's wheelchair spaces. Don't forget to lock. Malaysia is a highly religious country, so the ETS Platinum trains all feature a prayer room, though I didn't go inside as I didn't wish to interfere. These 6 carriage trains have just 3 toilets, which I don't think is enough, and there were often queues. Despite this shortage, these vacuum toilets were kept in a clean condition throughout the journey. Hand washing soap was available, and the water was working fine. There was no way to dry your hands, and also no toilet paper, but a handheld bidet was provided. We are now slowing down for our next station, and the most significant intermediate stop on our journey today. This is Ipoh, the core city of the Kinta Valley region, home to nearly 1 million. Passing us here is a Blue Tiger locomotive, also a popular design in Germany and Pakistan. And after a brief stop in this major city, we continue north towards our destination of Butterworth. In one armrest of my seat, you can find a small folding table. This also has a groove to hold a drink in place. However, what's in the other armrest is much cooler. This contains an entertainment and information screen, from which you can order food directly to your seat. But the best feature here is the internet access, which was even fast enough to load YouTube. I mean, there's no better time to catch up on your favourite train videos than when you're on a train, right? The train also has free Wi-Fi, which was easy to connect to. And the speeds on this were pretty decent too. Above the seat, you can find individual reading lights. And all windows were equipped with effective sunblinds. Every seat in business class gets its own power socket, either on the wall or between the seats in front. This is a 3-pin style socket, the best design in the world, but some USB sockets are available too. Luggage space can be found in the form of sizable overhead luggage racks, while large luggage stacks for bulkier or heavier items can also be found at one end of each carriage. Narrow gauge railways are often associated with giving a rough ride, and that certainly matches my general experience. However, the ETS Platinum trains left me very impressed. This journey was smooth throughout. At this point, the staff came through with another round of service. I was expecting this to be tea and coffee, so you can imagine my surprise when a second lunch turns up at my seat, just 2 hours after the previous one. The second lunch was rice with what looked like sweet potato and something else. A cup of hot jasmine tea was served alongside this meal. After this meal, I was now feeling rather full, so I decided to sit back, relax and enjoy the passing scenery. Malaysia was experiencing some flooding when I travelled, resulting in the sight you see here, with the railways totally surrounded by water on both sides. As we get closer to Butterworth, the weather takes a sudden turn for the worse, a sign of Malaysia's volatile weather system. This station is Simpang Ampat, served only by KTM commuter trains running out of Butterworth. And this is the last station we pass before the junction to the Butterworth branch line, with the main line continuing up the west coast towards Padang Besar, where you can change for trains onward to Thailand. So let's talk about how much this journey cost. I booked 3 months ahead, but ticket prices are fixed no matter when you book. A one-way ticket in business class was 143 Malaysian ringgit, and I think this is a great deal. This ticket includes lounge access, a comfy seat and 2 meals, so the value for money here is excellent. And for those looking to travel on a low budget, standard class is even cheaper at just over half of this price. Butterworth serves as the station for the city of Seberang Perai, Malaysia's 3rd largest, but also acts as the railhead for the similarly sized Georgetown, accessed by ferry or road bridge just across the Penang Strait on Penang Island. After a pleasant journey, we arrive into Butterworth station at 15:23, right on schedule. Overall, I really enjoyed the ETS Platinum. It was a comfortable and friendly experience at a good price, despite the terrible station experience in Kuala Lumpur. Once again, a huge thanks to Ling for sponsoring today's video, and be sure to click the link in the description to download Ling for your 7-day free trial. But despite this train being pretty fast, it's still not the fastest in Southeast Asia, so to watch my video on Indonesia's record-breaking Whoosh high-speed train, then click up here now.